These are going to be the top 10 anime you need to watch right now. Some of these are continuations, most of these are new seasons, and some of these are first time new anime. So let's get right into it. Starting off, we have Tokyo Revengers. I know everyone is saying it fell off, but Tokyo Revengers season 3 is off to a decent start, and Tokyo Revengers as a whole is a pretty good anime. If you've never watched it, it's about this 26-year-old kid who gets pushed in front of a train, and all of a sudden he jumps back in time 13 years, and he can jump back and forth in between time as he's trying to save all of his old friends that went down a bad path. It's definitely an interesting anime and one that was really popular for a few years ago, and with the manga recently concluding, a lot of people are pretty angry about it, but Tokyo Revengers anime has a vibe to it. It's not going to blow you away or anything, but it's a solid 7 out of 10 show. So if you're just looking to watch something somewhat interesting, Tokyo Revengers is definitely that for you. Now we have Shangri-La. Unfortunately, I cannot put video for this up, but you can enjoy these pictures of this blue falcon man because they copyrighted my video on them. It's about this kid who lives in this world where VR completely took over, and he was obsessed with playing really crappy games. Then all of a sudden he decided to give a real game a chance, an MMO, a beastie MMO. And this game, unlike other isekai like Sword Art Online, they really give detail to the game aspects of it. It's way more for gamers than it is for transporting you into another fantasy world. Unlike most other isekai that just have a fantasy setting and really are leaning into that, that's the whole reason why the isekai component is there. Shangri-La is really committed to making you feel that this video game is sick, and honestly there's a lot of cool details there. Moving on, we have Zom 100. I don't know if it's still gonna air. I don't know what's going on with Zom 100. It's about this guy. He's living the 9 to 5 life on crack. He gets hit with the realization that 9 to 5 life is really more like 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. to whatever time you finish work, and it's a constant workflow, and he's realizing he's sitting there decrepit, like, when did I let my dreams die? How did this happen? All I do is work. I don't even want to be alive. Then all of a sudden a zombie apocalypse comes and he doesn't have to work anymore, so he's living life, enjoying life, and trying to figure out what's the best way to do with the time you have now, because with zombies it's kind of ironic for him because it means an end is inevitable. He's just enjoying life, and then he goes through this process. Honestly, Zom 100 really did bring back the whole zombie genre, and honestly I don't think the zombie genre has ever been that popular in anime, so the way they do it is pretty unique. Also, the animation style is insane. The way they use colors is unlike any other. You'll definitely enjoy it, especially if you're in college or you're already working. Number 7, this one might surprise you, this one might not surprise you. It's Rent a Girlfriend.
Oh my god, bro. Oh hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Rent a Girlfriend season 2 or 3, however you explain it, has been actually pretty good, and the first 12 episodes are done, and it's honestly a lot more serious than it was before. It's not as annoying before. A lot of the annoying characters from the first season are gone, and honestly I know it's a meme. There's all of that kind of nonsense in it still, but it has a lot more of a charm to it, as well as the fact that it's toned down a bit and it's trying to tell way more of a narrative. Now honestly, the Rent a Girlfriend part of Rent a Girlfriend is completely useless, and it really could just be a good slice of life, but you'll find a lot of good stuff here in season 2, as well as the fact that season 1 isn't a horrible watch. Coming in at number 6 is Spy X Family, and Spy X Family is under the charges of falling off. A lot of people are claiming that Spy X Family has somehow not been as popular as it was before, and I'm sitting there like, there's only 2 episodes out. And in case you're wondering, like, oh, do I really need to watch a whole season of Spy X Family to understand what's going on? Not really. You can pick up on it pretty quickly. The concept behind Spy X Family is pretty simple. You essentially have this girl who's a telepath, this dad that's a spy, this mom that's an assassin, and this dog that can see the future and understand human speech. You throw them all under a roof, and none of them know about the other's secret, and it just creates this really overwhelming feeling of happiness and almost a slap in the face of reminding yourself what it was like to be a kid and enjoying everything there is about Sunday morning cartoons and just unique and fun stories, as well as the fact there's some action and really brutal scenes here as well. And honestly, it can just be described as a vibe. That's the best way to explain it. It's almost impossible to watch Spy X Family and not just feel a little bit of joy from it. Coming in at number 5 is Bleach. Now I know you're gonna be like, why are you recommending these shows that have so many episodes? I would honestly recommend just watching a synopsis of Bleach and checking into 1000-Year Blood War, because honestly I feel like after you catch up you're gonna want to go back and rewatch the rest, and I completely understand not wanting to watch the old Bleach because of the aspect ratio, because of the amount of episodes, but I would highly recommend watching 1000-Year Blood War. It's Bleach at its best. The animation is insane. The animation looks so crazy, and you have Bleach's final arc that honestly can somewhat be understood with just watching 1000-Year Blood War. And like I said, just a quick synopsis on YouTube and then boom, you'll understand everything, you'll catch up. Bleach is straight hands, and if you enjoy battle shonen, I can't stress enough how much you need to watch 1000-Year Blood War, because it's been that good and no one is talking about about it. And so many people are saying Bleach has fallen off as well. But honestly, I think Bleach fans just do their own thing. They don't care what other people are saying. They stay in their own lane and they create banger episode after banger episode with so many fights, so many big moments. It's impossible to not just enjoy Bleach when you're watching it. Because of what number 4 is, there's of course has to be an honorable mention at the end of this, because number 4 is One Piece. Do I really even need to go into detail? Honestly, I understand the amount of episodes it is, but I'm mainly talking about in context of how it's been recently. So I guess I'm mainly speaking to people who have started it and dropped it or just haven't caught up. One Piece has been on fire. Gear 5 is over, but now we have the post-Wano arc, and trust me, I read the manga. I am telling you, the post-Wano arc is almost just as exciting as Gear 5, if not more. If you didn't like Gear 5, you'll probably like post-Wano. Now, there is some bad decisions that'll come at the same time. There's so many exciting moments, so many characters you haven't seen in a while pop up, and One Piece is about to be on fire again. And at the end of the day, it's One Piece, right? I'm sure a lot of you know what it's about, know the premise. Of course, it's super long, so if you haven't started it, good luck. But One Piece has been peak, and I think it's only going to continue to elevate and get crazier and crazier. Coming in at number 3, I'm sure none of you are surprised. It is Frieren's Journey? Frieren? I just call it Frieren, but it's basically revives the fantasy genre in a lot of aspects. The premise is pretty interesting. You're jumping in with this group of adventurers at the end of their journey, and our main character is this elf, and in this world, elves live to over 1,000 years old. They live way beyond the life of everyone else, and as she's going on this journey, she's watching all of her friends die. As soon as you start the episode, you see her friends, and they're all young, and then you jump 50 years in the future, and she's burying them all, and she just has to sit there, and she's almost neutral to everything going on in her life, because all of a sudden, everyone she knows dies, so why would she latch onto anything? And you sit there, and you honestly can relate to it, but in a different sense. Obviously, we don't all live that long, but in terms of watching life pass by you, you can definitely relate to that and latching for a purpose of needing to live, of wanting to live, of why you're alive. That's what Frieren's Journey will do to you. And honestly, the animation style is unique and interesting, and having this almost monotone main character is cool because they add some elements into it that almost are like she's a blank canvas and all these people are influencing her, and it's a really good journey, and it's a really good vibe of the story too. There's no crazy huge moments. You kind of just throw it on and enjoy it and really sit there and honestly think about your life as you're watching it, because it really will do that to you with how they have this girl be so sad and so lonely at the same time of being mature and understanding that this is just how her life's gonna be, and she just has to bury everyone she meets. I'm really interested to see where the story's gonna go, and mainly I'm interested to see if there's going to be some huge moment where it's like, this is why we're watching, like some huge thing to throw up the whole narrative. I don't know, but what they have right now is working, and I really wonder if they're gonna stick with this or if they're gonna throw in some elements that none of us are expecting. But Frieren's Journey has been on absolute tear recently, and it's really picking up the eyes of everyone with just how unique it is. Coming in at number 2 is Moku Tensai. Season 2 just aired and the first half is done, and honestly, Moku Tensai is the best isekai I've ever watched, and it's not even close. Moku Tensai is typical isekai. Big fat character dies, he gets transported to this world, but this time he retains all of his memories, and it's not him getting transported into this world. He's a little kid and he's living in this fantasy world with magic, elves, and all of these different components, and he's really sitting there understanding like, oh my god, I have a second chance at life. I can redeem myself. The Moku Tensai doesn't just throw away everything this guy was before, because as the story goes on, you realize this guy was bullied and he was forced into his home and he was scared to go in the outside world, and now that he's a second chance at life, he can try again. He can try and do things differently. He can try and do things better. Now, there's a lot of weird shit in Moku Tensai, and I mean a lot of really weird stuff, and you need to have an extremely high tolerance to it, because it's not even just fan service. It is straight up weird, and honestly, at times, it ruined my experience watching it somewhat. It tapers down a lot in season 2 somewhat, as well as the fact that you kind of just get over it because the concept of the world is so vast, the animation style is so unique, and the world is way better than any other anime isekai world by far. They have this vast fantasy world, and they keep on throwing curveballs after curveballs after curveballs at you, and you honestly never know what's gonna happen next, because Moku Tensai does things unlike any other isekai, unlike any other anime. They throw so many elements at it that make it hard to write a story, and they're constant change. It's constant evolution, and at first you might think it's just a slice of life with how it is, but I guarantee you it is not. Number 1 of the best anime to watch right now, do I even need to say it? It's Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 has been the best anime of the year. I actually have a whole video on it that I just posted before this one, so check that out too. But Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 has been the best anime by far. Mappa is discovering new shades of blue for this anime. You start off with young Gojo, you start off with young Geto, you understand what's happening there. Then you jump to Shibuya, and all of a sudden now Gojo is sealed, Itadori and Megumi are finally in the story. And Jujutsu Kaisen has so many characters and so many different aspects to it and different storylines going on, as well as such a complex narrative, and MAPPA has executed on it perfectly, adding in new scenes of Nanami looking crazy. And Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 continues to just elevate and elevate on what was laid before it. I don't want to spoil too much because I feel like I've already said too much, but if you haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, you really need to, because it's just going to continue to become one of the best anime ever. And I think Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, much like the Entertainment District, much like the Pain Arc, is going to go down as one of the best anime seasons ever. So if you haven't already, you need to get on Jujutsu Kaisen. And the honorable mention is this anime called Under Ninja. Now, I've only watched the first episode for Under Ninja, but if you're looking for unique, if you're looking for different, definitely check this out. You essentially have ninja that work as the CIA in the modern world, and it's really interesting, and the animation style is really just out there. It is completely different than anything you've ever watched. And there's no way you won't watch this feeling like, oh my god, I've seen this 1,000 times before. Under Ninja, I can honestly barely even understand the concept myself. I just know it's different and I like it. So if you enjoyed this video, why don't you check out this one on One Piece too, as well as my Jujutsu Kaisen video. So let me know what you're watching down below, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and don't forget, we're just getting started, we're gonna stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next video.